Long ago, in a quiet land under the vast blue sky, there lived a man named Abraham. Abraham was a faithful servant of God, and he loved and trusted God deeply. He had waited many years for a son, and finally in his old age, God blessed him and his wife Sarah with a child, a boy named Isaac. Oh, how Abraham adored his son. Isaac was the joy of his heart, the fulfillment of God's promise to make Abraham's descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. But one day something astonishing happened. God spoke to Abraham and said, "Abraham." Abraham answered, "Here I am." Then God gave him a command that shook him to his core. God said, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you." Abraham was stunned. His beloved son, his miracle, was to be sacrificed. But Abraham trusted God completely, even when he didn't understand. So early the next morning he prepared for the journey. He saddled his donkey, took 2 servants and Isaac with him, and set out for the place God had told him about. For 3 days they traveled through the wilderness. Finally they reached the mountain. Abraham told his servants, "Stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship, and then we will come back to you." Notice that Abraham said, "We will come back to you." Even now he held on to hope in God's promise. Abraham placed the wood for the offering on Isaac's shoulders and carried the fire and knife himself. As they climbed the mountain, Isaac asked a question that must have pierced Abraham's heart. "Father," Isaac said, "the fire and wood are here, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham replied, "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." And the 2 of them continued walking together. When they reached the top of the mountain, Abraham built an altar and arranged the wood. Then with trembling hands he bound Isaac and laid him on the altar. Just as Abraham reached for the knife to slay his son, a voice thundered from heaven. "Abraham, Abraham, here I am." Abraham replied. The angel of the Lord said, "Do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son." At that moment Abraham looked up and saw a ram caught by its horns in a thicket. Abraham took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. Then the angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time and said, "Because you have done this and have not withheld your son, your only son, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me." And so Abraham and Isaac returned home together, their faith in God stronger than ever. The story of Abraham's test teaches us about trust, obedience, and God's unfailing provision. It reminds us that even when we don't understand, we can have faith that God's plan is good and perfect.